Alright. Be free. Take the flare gun, shoot in the air, let the others know where we are.
Yeah.
Alright, seems like need to have a talk right here.
I'm going to put a flare in the air. Come towards it. B8.
Guess I'm guessing it's about this intel that the scarecrow guy, told you about, huh?
Seems like you're a rock right on that.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know. He likes to use me a lot for a lot of bullshit.
So you're not really working with him or what?
I mean, I see them now and again, but I tend to just stay out of the way of the public.
Well, I can understand that. This zone is a fucked up place, especially with all these stalkers in here now.
Yeah, so this intel, huh? This intel. Why, like I asked everyone else, why do you need it so importantly? What? How does it help you?
Well, you probably heard why we built out everything
did.
inside the zone, why we
I'll put
constructed all the walls. We want to keep everything inside, we want to clear it. We don't want anything to happen to the outside world.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this information that I have, it is about the fuckers in black and white.
The monolith. Nah. We have a lot of trouble with them lately.
Well, I was up, the city, the city that is north. What do you call it?
You probably mean that city.
The one with all of the fucking mutants and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, I was up there a few weeks ago, like a month ago, and I saw like basically the monolith coming from this big forest just north of there.
Interesting.
They were like they had this big machine, and they were placing it down on the bridge or some shit like that, and turning it off or something like that. I watched them. They were like really far back in the forest, and they sent one guy up to turn it off. But when he went to turn it off, like
We're
he just
inside the
dropped,
compound. I'll shoot
he
another
just dropped
flare.
to the floor.
Interesting. Do you can describe that big machine they had with them?
It was like the one that they use in the bridge to Northern Swamp. That the stalkers and the groups that took down.
So it probably was
It
Psy metal then. Interesting.
something like that. They sent the guy up. The guy went to switch it off, and he managed to switch it off, and then he dropped. And it is like it almost looked like they were not so immune to the psi shit anymore. Like they couldn't manage it as well. Like, or only like the, how do I say it? Like they have, like, by the looks of it, like two types of monolith. They're the ones which they call like preachers or some bullshit, and then they have the just the regular fucking fanatic there, and it's like the fanatics, they cannot hold, not manage it, but the preachers, they can manage the psi bullshit there.
Interesting. So you're telling me that the monolith are losing their protection against the Psy field themselves?
It is almost like they're like, yeah, like they are becoming more immune, or like not so immune to the psi field.
Let you hear that, be free. Seems like these assholes get what they deserve.
Duh.
Yeah, well. Anyways, they switched it off, past all the bullshit, and then they let in like a load of mutants, into the city. That is why the city is like so populated now with mutants.
Interesting. Alright, be free. Keep writing everything down.
But it's like, the things that I saw behind them, you know, when like in the forest, the mutants, the anomalies. It was like something that you have never seen, like on this side of the zone. Like the mutants, they were bigger, more dangerous. They were like, I don't know, fucking. Some of them were fucking massive and looked scary as fuck, you know.
And I can understand that. Last time we went there, we recognized some shit too. The mutants changed. They went heavier, more dangerous. We don't know what it was, but now we at least have a clue.
Well, I've been using my laptop that is on your left, you know, and the scanners to track when they turn on and off their little generator there. And it seems like soon, pretty soon, in the coming weeks, that they're going to turn it off again soon. There is no current date yet, but soon they will turn it off again, and that might be the time to strike, you know, to get access to this forest. You know, their home, or you know, their, how do I say it, forward operating base, you know.
And I understand what you mean. I think they already tried shit like that before. Last time we sent out a unit with the ecologists to identify and investigate some technology they left, but the unit got lost. No communication, nothing. It's like they just disappeared.
I did hear about that, but apparently they got some sort of like some, I don't know, some of these stalkers got some sort of westerners in the zone or some bullshit. These westerners are going to help fight the monolith or some bullshit. So that's why like Scarecrow has psychologists. No, but I can tell, you know, you were taking notes of this. So you can either send them to come and meet me, or you can just pass them the notes and give them the intel. It is up to you and up to them. But make sure to notify Scarecrow of this, you know.
And of course. Well, seems like the ecologists will have to work here then. But as long as I know them, they take pretty long time. So we'll basically just send it over through the communications.
That sounds good. It takes a lot of weight off my shoulders
What
as
did
well,
you say,
know.
V8? The second floor.
Alright, can you tell me more about the devices, how they work? How did you manage to, let's say, interrupt with the monolith?
Okay, so when they were like, how do I say it? When they turned off this generator, I sent in one of my scouts, Ray, you know, he went in and passed the wall into the forest a bit, placed down two detectors there, or a few detectors, one on the west side, one on the east side, basically one for fucking mutants, one for anomalies, and that I've linked them back to these two scanners by here that will tell me if you know, anything that is not in the database from what is currently known inside of the zone. It
Interesting.
shows up, you know, in the detectors.
How exactly does they work? Do they use radio frequencies or some other kind?
They use radio frequencies, but also it is so basically like you stab the detector into the ground. It detects like a natural movement, you know, steps and shit like that.
So it
Any sort
basically
of
works
movement through the
on
ground.
shockwaves.
The shockwaves, that is the word. They work through that, and obviously it is detected bigger and maybe some how do I say it? Uh, not as strong footsteps, but definitely quicker footsteps. You know, so that could lead to either quicker mutants or you know, bigger and slower, but pain more dangerous mutants. You know.
I can understand that. So you can basically also identify the mutants on the parameters they're sending, or is it just an overall activity sensor?
V8.
It's just basically it's like
Where the
I
fuck
can't
are you?
identify the mutants because they are not in the
Copy.
database, but I have past records
Didn't we bring something
of
for
all
him?
of
Do you
the
have vodka?
current what do you call it? All of the
Shit,
current
negative. I
mutants.
got another drink sound.
Keep your voices down. I'm trying to speak here.
Basically, I have a database, and I already have detected all of the shockwaves and shit from the mutants that we currently know, like the giant, the chimera, you know, all of that bullshit. But these shockwaves, they're a lot different, so I know they're not from our database, and not in, not anyone that has seen in a zone before, you know.
Yeah, that's some interesting shit right there. So, if the Stalker are able to push more north, seems like they will encounter some more new mutants.
By the looks of it, maybe one or two, maybe some mutants that you've already seen, but maybe they're quicker or a bit heavier, a bit taller, I don't know, wider, but they could be the same but more dangerous, like a different, like how do I say it, an evolved type of a current species, you know.
And I understand. Well, that's troublesome. If they breach out the wall, we're gonna have a big problem outside the world. Seems like we have to do something against this.
The, well, it's going to be dangerous, you know. Don't know what, where you guys currently stand with the other organizations, these Westerners, the stalkers and shit like that run this Rostock city, but I don't know. They're
About
going
these
to need all the help they
Westerners.
can get.
Are they
The
wearing white clothing?
No, apparently they were in like quite the dark clothing. I wasn't there, but uh, I heard from Scarecrow that these Westerners that were wearing quite the dark clothing were apparently like I don't know. They helped take Rostock back from the monolith. I've
Wow.
got no fucking clue. That's all the intel I got given. You know. I wish that I was there, but maybe I don't know. Ask around to stalkers and to people and see if they know anything.
No, we'll probably have to do that. Do you have any more information you would like to share, or was that all?
That is all. But the last thing is when my guy was placing down these shockwave detectors, it was he basically saw something. It was like a tree, you know, but it was moving. It was like as tall as a bush, as wide as a bush. It has like branches and shit, but it was like a moving bush. He couldn't get close, but looked weird and dangerous, you know. So watch your back if you manage to get into the forest, you know.
That's pretty good advice. I really appreciate that.
But also it is a high increase of mutant and anomalous activity. So you want to watch your step as well. And if you ever get in there, then don't go in small groups.
And of course. I have one more question for you. How did you manage to get through this blockade of shockwaves in here? Or radio frequencies? Every time we try to get long range communication out of the zone, it doesn't work from this place. I don't know how, I don't know why, but is it possible that your equipment is kinda causing that trouble?
Yeah, it's my equipment. It how do I say it? It doesn't interfere with your guys' radios. It basically just links to our detectors and just sends like information back and forth. You know, it's kind of like how do I say it? This will send like a
So more like
request
a
to the
satellite
detector.
transmission.
Like that. This will send like a request to the detector for information, and the detector will feed information back to them, and then they will go into the computer. You know.
I understand. Seems like we still haven't found the cause of that shit.